They say if you believe in fairy tales, your love will never fail. And if this myth is true, sweetheart, you know what we should do? Be like Alice in Wonderland, Jack and Jill holding hands. And every afternoon we can watch the cows jump over the moon. And if it happens to get cold, we can take a walk down the yellow brick road. And if we run into little Bo Peep, we can help her find the sheep. Whoa, whoa. In the memory of my late cousin, that was a song that he once sang. Let's talk about energy hunters. How cults orchestrate false relationships to harvest your essence. We have these predators that are in disguise. We have these individuals that are targeting spiritually blessed people because, in the realm of spiritual warfare, few threats are as insidious and invisible as the energy hunter, a seductive and seemingly available figure sent by cult like networks to infiltrate the life of a divinely gifted person. These individuals are trained to manipulate, deceive, and extract spiritual essence through intimate deception. The relationship is deliberately short lived and engineered to disarm the target emotionally and energetically. It is to create confusion and to also allow for an easy energy transfer as the energy hunter disappears, leaving behind some heartbreak, some anguish, and a noticeable loss of vitality. But the true horror lies not in the heartbreak itself, but in what comes after the ritual consumption of the harvested energy by the cult. This is not merely your average run of the mill vampirism. This is a coordinated spiritual hijacking that is done by a collection of individuals. You can almost say it's like racketeering, uh, operating as a corrupt organization illegally to seduce, to mirror, and to energy manipulate. And they're going to appear in key moments in a person's spiritual evolution, times of rapid awakening, transition, when divine favor is to come. These individuals are deployed under the illusion of connection, but rather they know that they have a very specific mission and that whatever they might portray themselves as, being empathic, emotionally wounded, passionate, that these falsified traits are meant to resonate with the target's vibration. Their affection is entirely counterfeit, and their intentions are actually only parasitic. They're not acting alone. The hunter is part of the larger cult structure, a hive mind that feeds on high vibration souls. The hunter's role is to serve as the gateway, to establish enough emotional intimacy and connection to access the sacral energy of the target. And during this brief encounter, they're going to draw out the joy, the sexual energy, the spiritual insight, and even fragments of the target's soul mission. Then they withdraw. And in so doing, this is supposed to somewhat devastate the target because the transaction is now complete. The mission is now accomplished. And the energy hunter returns to the cult to engage in orgies and rituals meant to use the target's power. After the energy has been extracted, the cult anoints another figure, the mimic. The mimic is the counterfeit version of the true soul, the impostor who attempts to carry the same light, to use the same language, and to resonate as the original. This person often begins showing up in a spiritual or social space, gradually imitating the mannerisms, expressions, aesthetic choices, and even public works or teaching style of the original target. They are not really inspired, they are constructed. Their work is meant to be meticulous to the T because they are hollow vessels who were never meant to embody divine power, only to learn how to mimic it and impersonate it. This mimic is essential for the cult's illusion of legitimacy. The mimic becomes the recipient of any social, spiritual, or financial windfall and benefits that the original target was divinely aligned to receive. It's a full-scale operation of spiritual identity theft, where energy extracted from the real soul is redirected into a false vessel, like pouring sacred water into a counterfeit cup. This ritual consumption is how the cult feeds. And the cult needs this to be able to prosper, to be able to gain. Because what does the cult do with the energy once it's stolen? This is not metaphorical. The cult members engage in sexual rituals and orgies where the energy is passed along them like a sacrament. Each member believes that by consuming a portion of the energy, they can elevate themselves, heal their trauma, and access divine favor, all by stealing from the original. They speak the name of the target during rituals. They call in the mimic as a living idol, believing that they can summon the same type of radiance as the original source. This is why the hunter is praised in the cult's inner circles. They're not merely a seducer, they are a deliverer of prey and a point of entry. The orgy is a form of spiritual cannibalism, a perversion, very sick and twisted, of the sacred energy exchange. The stolen essence becomes their drug, their elixir, their source. But the energy is not renewable for them. It was never meant to be, because it cannot be truly metabolized by false hearts. This is living on borrowed time. They are drinking sacred fire with unclean hands. The inevitable sickness will come, and it cannot last. The theft of divine energy carries a curse. It cannot be sustained by those who have not been initiated by the divine, by spirit, or by true alignment with the universe. Over time, the members of the cult will begin to suffer. Their bodies will break down. Their organs will begin to fail. They will develop autoimmune conditions, liver issues, heart palpitations, kidney malfunctions, neurological disorders. These aren't just medical diagnoses, they are spiritual verdicts. Ingesting energy that was never meant for them creates an energetic backlash, karma, a form of divine justice. The very essence that they sought to cannibalize and consume for their very own begins to reject them from within. The mimic begins to crack under the weight of a borrowed soul. The hunter begins to spiral into depression, addiction, and obscurity. And the cult itself begins to disband, implode from within, fracture into paranoia, blame as the members turn on one another. Their sickness is the receipt of their twisted scheme, their ultimate theft that will be punished by the universe at some point. Part of the energy extraction process involved disorientation. The target is often left questioning their own worth, their perception, their intuition. They're gaslit. The hunter may use narcissistic tactics like the love bombing, like the hoovering, like the sudden coldness, like the gaslighting, like blaming the target for the narcissistic collapse. They sow seeds of guilt, making the target feel like the relationship was lost because they just were not good enough, or maybe they were too much, or maybe they were just never enough. This psychological fog serves to keep the victim confused, their brain unable to process. They feel drained, losing vitality, and unable to understand the theft that is occurring. Meanwhile, the mimic is promoted in public spheres, subtly marking the target by wearing their signature colors, echoing their tone, parroting their teachings and their way. It is a ritual humiliation, the cult's way of symbolically destroying the original soul's identity while parading a cheap substitute in their place. It is spiritual warfare dressed in modern clothing. So why was this target targeted? Well, there was the divine seed within. If you were this target, you were not chosen randomly. The energy hunter and the cult behind them are drawn to those who carry a powerful light, divine codes, healers, prophets, artists, innovators, truth tellers, those who are touched by the divine. Your aura emits a light that they cannot create themselves. Your presence reminds these folks of something that they lost long ago: purity, alignment, calling with the universe. To them, you're just simply a battery, like humans were to the Matrix. You're a beacon. The fact that they targeted you confirmed that you were not ordinary, and you had something that you didn't even know, maybe you didn't even see in others. Your destiny was not for sale. They saw this, even if you didn't see it yourself, and they wanted to drain it. They wanted, like a milkshake, to put their straw in it and drain it dry until there was no milkshake left. The hunters, the mimics, the cults, they target you and go in for the kill, but unfortunately, with time, they will lose their grip. And that is the good news for you. Because at the end of the day, they have never done the work. They have never done the healing. They were not blessed by the divine. And so therefore, handling that kind of power is not something that they can handle easily. You yourself should engage in cord-cutting rituals if you figure out that this is what's going on. If you realize that there was a hunter, there was a mimic, there was a cult. You want to use prayer. You want to reach out to the divine and look for divine protection and affirmations that are powerful tools to protect you and to call your power back, to call your energy back. You say, I call back every piece of my energy that was taken without permission. I reclaim it now, whole and purified. Let nothing that belonged to me remain in the hands of others. You don't need vengeance. You don't need to expose these people. You don't need to do anything. In fact, it'll be worse for you if you do, because they've already covered their tracks, and they will make you look like an insane person and even try to have you taken to jail or committed. So do not play into their game. You know what they've done. You know how to cut them off. But do not play into any of their tricks, because all they want to do is destroy you to the point where they can take everything you have and leave you for dead. All you need to do is be comfortable in yourself, reconnect to the divine, go through your spiritual awakening, and then they will suffer the shame, the regret, and the oncoming madness. You don't have to lift a finger. You have ancestors. You have angels. You have protectors. These people that are in the hidden realm are fighting for you because of your connection to the divine. The light can never be theirs. It is always yours, and they will get what is coming. Therefore, all you have to do is sit back and watch as the divine reduces them to rubble. You're not here to be fools. You're not here to be a food, I apologize, for these false souls. The mimic cannot hold you. The hunter cannot continue to steal from you. The cult cannot maintain what they're taking from you. Sickness and rot will infiltrate their cult. Sickness is their consequence. Healing is your birthright and your revolution. And when you rise, the whole world will feel it. You will reclaim your power, and the cult will fall. So be patient, and be strong, and be resilient. Thank you for joining me in this sacred hour. This has been the Unrelenting Alchemist. Until next time, always remember to walk wisely, walk bravely, and when the dark calls, answer it not with fear, but with fire and light. You are all powerful. And if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you.